The most dangerous relationships are not always the most openly abusive. Sometimes they are the ones that teach you to doubt your own pain while staying emotionally attached to the person causing it. That is what happens in many situationships built on trauma bonding. Trauma bonding is often misunderstood. People hear the term and imagine only extreme cases, but at its core, trauma bonding happens when emotional pain and emotional reward get tied together so tightly that leaving feels harder than staying. You are not just attached to the person, you are attached to the cycle. The apology after the disrespect, the closeness after the cruelty, the warmth after the withdrawal, the relief after the anxiety. The bond becomes powerful not because it is peaceful, but because it keeps forcing your nervous system from distress into temporary safety. And your body starts chasing that safety. This is why some people stay in painful dynamics long after their mind knows the truth. They are not stupid. They are bonded through contrast. A situationship is the perfect environment for this, because everything stays emotionally intimate enough to matter, and structurally vague enough to destabilize you. There is no clear agreement, no real security, no stable role, but there is enough affection, access, and emotional intensity to make the connection feel important. So when the person hurts you, disappears, lies, withholds, or gives mixed signals, you don't just feel rejected, you feel disoriented, because there was never enough stability to anchor your reality in the first place. That disorientation is what many manipulative people rely on, whether consciously or not. Maybe they future fake. Future faking is when someone talks like a builder, but behaves like a temporary visitor. They mention trips, plans, what we could be, how different you are, how they've never felt this way, how you should be patient because they see something real here. Those promises create emotional investment before real commitment exists. So later, when their effort drops, you don't walk away easily. You keep referencing the future version they sold you. Or maybe they use intermittent tenderness. After a fight, after distance, after you start pulling away, suddenly they become incredibly soft. They say exactly what you needed before. They act attentive, affectionate, almost transformed. And because your nervous system has been deprived, that softness lands with extra force. You think the relationship is healing, but often it's just resetting. The reset is what keeps the bond alive. Let's talk about a common scenario. You're dealing with someone who makes you feel deeply chosen in private, but strangely unclaimed in reality. They can be loving, vulnerable, even protective when they want closeness. But when it comes to consistency, public certainty, or actual accountability, the energy changes. If you bring up your needs, they say you're creating pressure. If you pull back, they suddenly move closer. If you try to leave, they finally say the things you've been waiting to hear. The relationship only gets emotionally intense when it is at risk. That is not growth. That is survival-based maintenance. Another scenario. The connection becomes centered around your emotional labor. You are always the one trying to understand, repair, explain, soothe, and hold the emotional tension. They may call you special, say they trust you, say you are the only one who gets them. That creates a kind of intimacy that feels meaningful. But if you are always carrying the clarity while they carry the confusion, the relationship is not intimate. It is asymmetrical. And asymmetrical relationships slowly distort self-worth. Here's how the erosion happens. At first, you know when something hurts. Then you start rationalizing it. Then you start comparing bad moments to their better moments, instead of comparing the whole pattern to your standards. Then you stop asking whether it's healthy, and start asking whether it can improve. Then you become attached to progress that never stabilizes. And eventually, your identity shifts. You become the understanding one, the patient one, the strong one, the one who doesn't ask for too much, the one who can handle complexity. But the truth is, many people are not healing in these dynamics. They are disappearing in them. Trauma bonding often creates a very specific emotional split. Part of you sees the pattern clearly. Another part still longs for the good version of them. That creates cognitive dissonance. You know the instability is harming you, but the moments of closeness feel so emotionally convincing that you keep overriding what you know. The mind says, "This is hurting me." The bond says, "But what if this time is different?" So you stay between evidence and hope. This is why leaving can feel like withdrawal, because it is. Your body has adapted to the cycle of deprivation and relief. When you cut off access, You are not just grieving the person. You are grieving the fantasy, the dopamine spikes, the future promises, the identity you built inside the connection, and the hope that if you loved correctly, the pattern would finally turn into peace. But peace was never the pattern. That's the sentence a lot of people need to hear. The moments of tenderness were real. The chemistry may have been real. The attachment is definitely real. But if the overall pattern required you to abandon your own clarity to stay connected, then the bond was not safe, no matter how real it felt. This is where power returns. Not when they finally explain everything. Not when they regret losing you. Not when you get closure in the perfect language. Power returns when you stop measuring the relationship by its best moments and start measuring it by its full emotional cost. Did this connection increase your self-trust or decrease it? Did it make your life more stable or more chaotic? Did it deepen your self-respect or make you negotiate against it? Did it require honesty or did it reward silence? Those are the questions that break trauma bonds because they bring you out of fantasy and back into pattern recognition. A healthy relationship does not need pain to create depth. It does not require distance to create desire. It does not keep you emotionally starving so that small moments of warmth feel transcendent. It does not turn your nervous system into a hostage and call that love. And this matters because many people think the answer is to become colder. It's not. The answer is to become more accurate, more precise, more honest, more unwilling to confuse emotional intensity with emotional safety, more unwilling to let chemistry override evidence. The next time someone gives you just enough to keep you attached, but not enough to let you feel secure, do not ask how to be more patient. Ask what this pattern is training you to tolerate. The next time someone makes the relationship feel profound, only when it's close to ending, do not call that passion. Call it instability. The next time someone offers future language without present consistency, do not treat their vision as proof. Treat their pattern as proof. Because the strongest version of you is not the one who can endure the most confusion. It's the one who can finally leave what keeps calling pain a connection.